Hello to all my friends and family, and welcome to Jim's 5am Club. It's Friday. It's a wonderful day. Just a little bit overcast at the moment, but there's a gentle, beautiful, balmy breeze coming through, and it's keeping things pleasant. We've had a bit of rain this week, but it looks like the rain is holding off for the next few hours, hopefully. And I just want to do a bit of a walk and talk and a chat again. But what I want to do today is I want to expand on a topic that I talked about yesterday. Because I remember finishing the topic yesterday and saying, well, I just needed to do a little bit more, just add a little bit more on a very, very important topic, a topic that impacts virtually everyone. And the quote that I used yesterday, and I'll just kick off with that quote again, and then we'll focus in on what I thought was important and critical to talk about, and just to clarify, so we don't miss this opportunity. The point, or the quote that I had yesterday, I forget where I got it from, but it's a powerful one. It says that positive emotion in general is one of the greatest predictors of the good life, high energy and better health, and people with positive emotion have more satisfying marriages, make more money, and have better health. Excuse me. And what I wanted to focus on today, especially for the younger people, is the importance of having positive emotions and being positive because of the impact it has on your married life. So in a nutshell, when we meet our partners, we're very much in love, and we focus in on their strengths. And it doesn't come till much later where you start identifying their weaknesses. Because as they say, love is blind. And there are lots of things that my wife Paula didn't notice about me when she fell in love with me, and vice versa. But the point that I want to make here is that it's very, very important, extremely important, to learn to be positive, especially when you're in a relationship with somebody else, when you're taking somebody else on board in your life, and that your contribution can either be a positive or a negative impact on them. So we fall in love for a reason. We fall in love to make our partner's life better, and by making their life better, we subsequently have a better life ourselves. Well, that's the theory. So the point that I want to make here is that I don't know what happens along the way, but something happens and we fall away. And instead of being the positive, loving, caring, nurturing partner that we were when we first fell in love and first set eyes on our partner and did whatever we can to become, favourable in their eyes, for them to love us, to find us attractive, and to seduce them into being our lifelong partner, somewhere along the way something happens and we turn again. We turn upon ourselves, we become more introverted, we become more selfish, we start to want more in the relationship, which feeds our own selfish desires, and the loving, caring individual that we once were becomes an unloving, uncaring, unnurturing, and almost evil combatant or competitor to your beautiful partner who you chose to live with for the rest of your life. So what happens? So somewhere along the way, we start discovering our partner's weaknesses, and we start showing our weaknesses as well. And one of the most evil weaknesses of all is negativity, whinging, whining, and putting our partners down and constantly being on their case and being very pushy, rude and aggressive, both physically, mentally, because it doesn't take long. It doesn't take long before each and every one of us can become evil people and not very much fun to be around. The good news is that most people, most relationships go through that cycle, you know? And if you think you're not going to go through that cycle and you're going to be loving, caring and nurturing every single day of your married life, then you probably have a lot to learn. But the important thing is to catch ourselves in the act and to stem the pain, to stop the pain as early as possible, and to do something productive, positive, to turn it around and make things better. And it takes time. It doesn't happen overnight, because we've all got bloody egos. We've all got egos, and we spend a lot of our time wanting to stroke our own egos, wanting to get our own way in our weddings, in our relationships, making sure that our parents, our families, our grandparents, and our side of the family get the lion's share of all the experiences, without ever considering that there's another half, there's another family, there's another world out there outside of our own greedy, selfish selves. So once again, where's this leading us? Where this is leading us is that first and foremost, when you're dating, when you're going out with a partner, you need to make sure that you get to understand what sort of character type they are. You know, and if they're very, very negative from the outset, chances are that they're going to get even more negative as the relationship builds and as the challenges start to reveal themselves. So I guess the important thing for people to understand and to consider is that you need to fall in love. You need to pair up, partner up with somebody who's positive. It's very, very important to understand that, and that it's easy to detect, it's easy to pick. Now you can pick the negative Nancy from the very beginning, and the negative Nancy becomes even more negative, even more controlling as the years get on. So make sure that if you're early in your relationship and you identify that you're with somebody who's constantly negative, constantly unhappy, constantly whinging and whining, then you need to be on notice, on very, very important notice, that you're going to have struggles ahead, very, very big struggles. But nothing is insurmountable. You know, we can turn ourselves around. If we're the negative Nancy, if we're the person who's always negative, you can turn yourself around by just simply journaling. Now, taking some time to journal your thoughts, your conversations, and you need to listen to yourself. And once you listen to yourself, you know, many times you'll be shocked and you'll be saying, shit, is that me? Is that me talking? I would hate to be somebody who was married to me with all those things that I'm saying and the way I'm behaving and how rude I can be. So, you know, start a journal happening and self-diagnose yourself. Don't leave it to the people around you, because in many ways the people around you won't have the courage, won't have the ability to bring this topic up with you, other than just fighting with you all the time. And it's quite normal, quite possible, that you can spend a decade fighting with your partner, fighting for control, fighting to see who's going to be the boss and whose will prevail. But that's wasted. That's absolutely wasted time and wasted energy. Energy that you can use to do something else. So, the first lesson or the first point that we need to consider is to make sure that you marry into somebody who's positive. And you can also learn from their parents. You can listen to what their parents always talk about, what they focus on. Because people give clues. If people are always focusing on what's wrong, then chances are they're going to be identifying what's wrong with you day in, day out, throughout your relationship, throughout your married life. Make sure that you nip it in the bud and explain to your partner up front that that sort of behaviour doesn't bring out the best in you or the best in me. I'm the first to admit that I have people in my life who bring out the absolute angel in me. And you give me 1 unit of respect, and I'll give you 100 units back of love and respect and generosity. But by the same token, I've got people in my life, or people who have come into my life over the years, who bring out the absolute devil, the absolute arsehole in me. And my simple response is, take me on at one level and I will absolutely spend the rest of my days just trying to sort you out and pay you back. I know it's not right, but that's basically how we all are. If somebody invalidates us, embarrasses us in public and makes us feel stupid, dumb and negated, then your ego is going to be damaged and you're going to want to go back and just sort them out and give them their own lesson back, which is not all that resourceful, but it's the way we are, it's the way we're wired. Anyway, so the key lesson is, as we said, is make sure you fall in love with somebody who's got great talents, who's somebody who's positive, who's loving. And it's hard to tell, because the only time you can actually see how a person's made up is in the tough times, in the times where a relationship is tested to see how strong it is. And thank God my wife and I have been tested many times, and we've come through each test stronger and better than ever. And I know there are more testing times ahead, because that's how life is. Who knows what's around the corner? Who knows what we've got in store? But I know that if we look in our past, then we've got what it takes to get through our future. So, do a self-assessment and catch yourself out. If you're a negative Nancy, if you're a Debbie Downer, if you're always whinging and carrying on, my advice to you is loosen up, because you're not going to be married for too much longer, because your partner is going to get sick of you if you continue to carry on like that. You need to be more generous with your time, with your money, with your praise, and to be more lenient when you see things which are not to your liking, and to let things go. Let things go. Don't grab onto every opportunity to embarrass, to insult, or to make your partner or your friends or your work peers or anybody look bad. At the end of the day, as my mother told me, she said, "Son, do you want to be in love, or do you want to be right? Because you can't be both at the same time." So the call to action is to be in love and to do whatever it takes to keep your relationship alive and well, and to not let third parties, challenges, silly things get in the way and destroy your masterpiece. I've said it time and time again, we get one chance to get it right. If you get a second chance, then you're the most luckiest person in the world, because most people can't get it right with one chance. So take that one chance with both hands, with 10 fingers, with 2 arms, hug it close to you and make it work, because you've got one lifetime. And I've got to tell you that after the tough times, you know, we go through the easy times, the loving times, the honeymoon period, we'll go through some tough years, but once you get through those tough times, the kids grow up and the grandkids come into your life, you know, life is so much sweeter, so much easier, and you can enjoy each other's company without having to attack each other and to make each other feel invalidated. So let's finish off with a positive affirmation. Thanks for bearing with me today. It's a tough topic, but it's a bloody important topic. It's a topic that everybody needs to think about. It's a topic that everybody needs to do their best with, and it's one that we can all share with our friends and family and be the helping hand, not the hand which is going to help annihilate a relationship, but the one that's going to help glue it back together and propel it forward and drag it forward. So let's finish off with the positive affirmation. I'm alive, I'm well, and I feel absolutely great. To my friends and family, stay connected, stay relevant, stay in love, and most importantly, stay positive. If there's one thing you can do that can have the greatest impact on your relationship with your partner, is to be positive, to spend more time validating your partner, thanking them, seeking forgiveness, offering forgiveness, rather than just being the arsehole who just wants to be right every single time. So thanks once again. Take care. Yassas from Jim's 5am Club. I look forward to coming to you again tomorrow from a different location with a different message of empowerment, and hopefully we can use it for our shared benefit, because at the end of the day, every broken relationship has ongoing repercussions, first, second and third level consequences, and we're all impacted. You know, if you're not happy in your relationship, then you're going to impact me and my relationship, because we're all connected at many levels and in many ways. So the more people who are getting on with it and working through it and sorting themselves out, the better off we all are, because that vibration, that positivity has a ripple effect which is able to lift and propel and comfort others in their relationships. Take care, everybody. I love you. If you like ya, from Jim's 5am Club, and we'll chat again. Yassas.